You thought your tax dollars were being wasted? Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, working unpaid to save the government money. I've been waiting for something like this to happen. And I think the more that we find out, the more pissed off you're going to be.
Tackling this kind of waste, fraud, abuse, bureaucratic bloat, we're going for the stuff that's basic common sense that most Americans actually agree on. And I hope we're going to actually be able to help unite the country by eliminating waste, which is something that all Americans, regardless of partisan affiliation, can get behind. And that's how Elon and I are thinking about it.
Well, that was Vivek Ramaswamy touting the new Department of Government Efficiency that he and Elon Musk will be running. Now, also known as Doge, this temporary agency will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive structural government change from outside the government. Now, they put out their first messaging on X yesterday, writing this: working overtime to ensure your tax dollars will be spent wisely. So what have we been spending some of our federal funds on? Let's review. Almost $550,000 went to a Russian lab to run experiments on cats' brains. That was spent by the National...
Wait a second. I thought Russia was bad. Why would we send them $550,000 to test cats?
Institutes of Health. $3.7 million of funding went to a study on monkeys and gambling.
Are you seeing this now?
Another NIH fascinating project. And the State Department awarding tens of thousands of dollars for drag shows in Ecuador.
What?
And that's just the tip of the wasteful spending iceberg. Here's Senator James Langford rattling off just a few government spending projects at a House hearing last year. Watch.
Last year, the State Department did a grant to Ecuador to host 12 drag shows in Ecuador with American tax dollars. Now, may have different opinions in this room on drag shows. I'm just asking the simple question: is the best use of American tax dollars to actually fund drag shows in Ecuador with U.S. tax dollars? What? National Science Foundation last year did a study of butterflies in Europe. So we funded with...
Why isn't any of this money being spent here in the United States? I'm not for drag shows, but why do we need to spend money in Ecuador on drag shows? We could have those here. San Francisco, Portland, New York City, fill in the blank of whatever weird city you're in. You could enjoy some drag shows if that's your thing. I don't care.
The American taxpayer dollars. Last year, there was also a NEA grant that was done to set up a display in Brooklyn for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
What?
By the way, it's not even an American band. We had an almost, $350,000 grant to study smart toilets. Was one of the grants that we actually paid for with our federal tax dollars last year. We also had a grant that was done studying colonial Mexican soundscapes. We, last year,
what is that?
Did a study on helmets and seatbelts in Ghana to be able to study whether seatbelts and helmets were effective for saving lives in Ghana. Can I just go ahead and answer that question for free? Seatbelts and helmets are a good idea. They save lives. Free.
Haley, the American people had no idea about this, and how would they when the administration we are disentangling ourselves from is committed to an opacity, and at the same time Americans can't afford grocery bills? But hey, let's spend millions on a bunch of ridiculous projects outside this country.
It is complete and total malpractice, and the biggest government positions to me that have been appointed are Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk in this new department. And it's not just the money. The money is a big part of it. It is gutting the career civil service from this administration. Let me give you an example. Details of his calls with the foreign leaders of Mexico and Australia were leaked. Mexico went to the...
That's true. All of his phone calls started getting leaked. Donald Trump had so many people working within his administration, within the walls of the White House, that were setting him up to fail. Now, Kayleigh McEnany, here on Fox, I like her. She's not the press secretary anymore. We need somebody with, I hate to say it, some more anger. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are not taking 1 cent of a salary. So before all the people on the left with the blue hair, well, shaved heads, start freaking out about creating another department of the government, neither one of them are taking 1 cent of a salary. Think about that. And they want to cut waste. Elon cut 80% of the staff at Twitter. Seems to be thriving. Make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Associated Press, Australia details, went to the Washington Post. It's time to put these two in charge, give them a ton of power, get rid of career civil servants.
Yes, ma'am. I can't wait. And
how many of you were aware of this level of fraud, of waste, fraud, and abuse? I knew there was some stuff going on. I didn't think it was this bad. Wow. Leave a comment down below if you know of any other projects that are just crazy, right? I want them to study red man tobacco hats. That's what I want them to study.
remember, I was a federal attorney. I was an acting director in a top 10 agency of an appellate office. And I really can't express adequately what it is like to push against the beast of spending. And among those spendings, I want to talk to you about something, Paul, which is the overpayments. This is where the waste comes into play. $3 trillion, Open the Books reported, since 2004. They define it as essentially wrong payments to the wrong person or for the wrong reason. Do you think Americans will give that back? Because I saw firsthand the billions of overpayments by the Social Security Administration where, oh, I'm sorry, guys, we just wasted $3 billion for no reason other than ineptitude, incompetence, or sheer laziness. And my point is that it is the structure that bakes it in. So Elon and Vivek are coming in and they're going to blow up that structure just like this. Well, we gave them money before, so we're going to do it again. No, we do not inherit the incompetence anymore.
Government contractors want certain people for certain reasons. Usually it's the retired 3-4-star generals and admirals that have already been making these budgeting decisions with government contractors. They bring them on as board of directors. They give them a slot, they pay them some slush money, and then hopefully they go back and get an appointment back within an administration so they can continue to funnel funds to these companies. Think of Nikki Haley, okay? Northrop Grumman, I think she's on the board for Lockheed Martin and Boeing. Don't quote me on that. Do your own investigation. But think about it. That is how the machine works. And it seems like Donald Trump, by appointing Elon and Vivek, just threw some wrenches into the machine, into the gears. I love this.
Right? Because who's this outsider that's going to come in, that's going to kick this whole thing over, essentially, right? It's not somebody that he's taken to lunch, he's been whining and dining for the last 20 years, that he knows the contract's a done deal. That's exactly what you're talking about, Kaylee, and that is what you need. The other thing is, two things real quick. First of all, why are we funding all these bad ideas in other countries? We have enough bad ideas of our own, for the love of God. Why are we, helmets and God, come on. That's one thing. The other thing is this real quick. I know and I recognize, and this is the argument against it, that the real money we have to worry about is Medicare, Social Security. I get those are the big numbers. I understand that. But these wasteful products still take us into the billions, right? It still matters. Yep. What you do, and this is what I'd like to see, is as you cut these superfluous programs, put them into something that people visually see. Say, we cut $500 million from this nonsense. We built an old age home for veterans. Here it is, in Maryland, in Virginia, in wherever. And that money went here, something useful, something domestic.
Yeah. Well, let's do a little more examples of this squander of what your money, guys, the government's money, that is your money. So let's show you a few more things of outrageousness that our tax dollars are being spent on. $100,000 to see if a sunfish is more aggressive when given gin or tequila.
Oh my gosh.
What?
$1 million to see if selfies make you happy. $1.5 million to study the mating calls of country frogs to see if they are different than city frogs. That, Cheryl, is what hardworking Americans' tax dollars are going to.
Oh, I have more. Why is the University of Mississippi spending $12 million for monkeys on meth? And why did the EPA spend $620 grand for armor and night vision equipment? Somebody explain that one to me, but I'll tell you.
The money that's being spent, it's your money. It's your money. Okay? This is not the government's money. This is your tax money that you just funded $1 million if selfies make you happy.
What the biggest one that killed me was the fact that the IRS between October of 21 and 23, they've got $50 million in unpaid taxes from their own employees.
Whoa.
IRS employees owe $50 million in back taxes. I want that. I want the IRS so gutted at this point. And Elon Musk, remember what he did with Twitter? He slashed out 70% of the employees at Twitter when he did
I can't wait for that
Just
boulder
point
to
that out.
smash the glass house of the IRS.
But I have to tell you, the other thing, too, is why does Anthony Fauci, and Rand Paul pointed this out, why does he have a $15 million security
Yeah,
detail?
we covered that here on this couch, Harris. And at the end of the day, the whole point is now
Anthony Fauci has a $15 million security detail. America's doctor. Why does he need that much protection? Think about it. $15 million for Anthony Fauci security detail. You're paying for it. You are. That is your money. Okay? What kind of security detail do you have? We haven't spent $15 million for a security detail on our southern border. And we're spending it on Anthony Fauci, waste, fraud, and abuse.
President Trump is saying, not anymore, not on my watch. We are going to audit the government, and we are going to stop the spigot of hemorrhaging, and we are also going to do a better job auditing, because it's clear that Americans do a better job auditing their own finances than the government does.
So a lot of that, and then I'm looking at that federal spending and adding up what you just called out, Cheryl. And all of that ends up being relatively small money considering how much they want to cut. But here's the thing, the way that you change the structure and the texture of things is to make small cuts. You said it earlier, Emily. You're going to not do this with a shovel, you're going to do it with a scalpel. And that's how you change government from the inside out. Wait, who's Pete Hegseth? Well, we could go on about the double Bronze Star winner. We could go on about his military service. Let them find out what kind of strategist he is as a CIB, Combat Infantryman badge. Let him find out how great he was on the ground leading people. But my point with all of this is you have until July 4th, Independence Day in 2026, to get this done. That's what the president-elect has told Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. And the reason that is you will have changed so much government that the last 2 years of your presidency, with possibly a flip in one house or the other on Capitol Hill, will have a new texture of government behind it. You'll really start to feel.
You are going to see the machine really push back. If you thought Donald Trump was hated during the campaign, you've seen nothing yet. Nothing. Nothing. We know what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. We know what happened to John F. Kennedy. Okay? You're going to see the machine reply. The machine is going to react. Guys, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have their work cut out for them. This is going to get interesting. The machine is going to respond. The military-industrial complex does not like resistance. It doesn't like it. I don't know if there's actually one person that's in charge, but you can guarantee you there's some conversations behind closed doors that are happening. It's not going to be good. Vetbiker's out.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.